I believe you're going to be very surprised at the things that I'm going to mention today. The things that got me from nothing, from a lower middle class family to becoming a millionaire. What were those things? I'm going to mention them today, and I think it's going to be very beneficial for you guys. And before we get into the video, like this video, share it with your family and friends, because I'm trying to put out a ton of value for you guys, and it helps me a lot in knowing that you guys are benefiting from the content when you guys engage with it. So the first, and I would say probably one of the most important things, not a lot of people actually speak about this. I mean, often, people will speak about the actual business model. People will speak about, how you can scale your business, but it does come from this one place. And I'll tell you what that is. See, when I started my businesses, there were many times where we had setbacks. There were many times where I didn't even believe I could actually achieve something. And so an interesting story, when I started my business, all I wanted to do was make £3,000 or £4,000 maximum, because that's what I was making when I was working my job. And so at that point, my mindset was, I want to make £3,000, £4,000, and I want to make the same amount where I don't have to work my job anymore. That was actually the wrong mindset. And this comes to my first and one of the most important things, that being your mindset. If your mindset is not right, you will struggle. You will not become a millionaire if you don't believe you can become a millionaire. See, a lot of the people watching this video right now would have thought, not possible, clickbait, or some malarkey like that. And the reality is that's not true. You can become a millionaire. It is possible. Not a lot of people become millionaires. And the biggest reason for that is actually they don't believe it. Many of you guys watching right now don't actually believe you can become a millionaire. And by that, maybe that just means making £300,000 a year. See, if you're making £300,000 a year, the likelihood is you probably are a millionaire. But do you believe that's possible? So what is £300,000 a year? One, £300,000 a year is £25,000 a month. That's obviously a lot of money, but when I say become a millionaire, that sounds like it's a very far-fetched goal. But when I say make £25,000 a month, not to say it sounds easy, but it sounds a lot more realistic. And that was a mistake on my side. I didn't believe I could achieve more. It's the same way when you're trying to get the best grades. And if you target yourself in getting the best grades, you will at least get, the medium or close to what your target was. But if that's never your target, you won't even come close to that. And so let me explain how practically this would even make sense. See, if I'm trying to make £3,000 a month, in my head, what I'm thinking is I need to do X. For example, I need to call these many clients, I need to send these many CVs, I need to speak to these many people, I need to do outreach this many times, I need to do business development this many times, and I will make my £3,000 a month. But if I'm trying to make £10,000 or £20,000 a month, my numbers increase, my output increases, maybe I hire someone. I now start thinking how I can achieve £20,000, but if I'm not even thinking like that, I am not going to put the measurables in place to ever make that possible. Number two, a lot of people have said to me that this is something that I do, and this is people that have said to me on the outside, so it's not something I'm making up. Other people have said, I do this, and so I'm sharing it with you. And that is, when I come up with a business idea, I get on with it. That is what I do. If I have an idea, it makes sense. The numbers make sense. This is crucial here, right? I will look at, do the numbers make sense? Does it make sense from a business aspect? Now, how do I measure whether something makes sense? Well, how much is it costing me? The absolute end cost. What is it going to cost me? How many times do I have to sell that, whatever that thing is? How much time does it take? Does it now make sense? And I'm going to give you an example. I'm wearing Golf Lift at the moment, as you guys can see, beautiful top. This is a gym clothing line that I am starting, and it hasn't yet launched. And obviously I'll share all about it when it does launch. But I am starting it in mainly the Middle East, though obviously people in the UK will be able to buy it as well. When I was starting this business model, what was I thinking? I was thinking, how much is it going to cost me? Every single cost involved, not just how to make it, how to package it, how to deliver it. From start to end, how much is it going to cost me? How much am I going to sell it for? How much of my time is it going to take? And is it something realistic in terms of, do I need to sell, 100 or 200 or 500 for me to see the amount that I would be happy with? And does it make sense? Is it going to take a lot of my time? Once I did those numbers, and that by the way will vary for everyone. See, for me, maybe, and I'm giving you guys an example, maybe I'm thinking if a business is going to make me another £5,000 a month, it might not make more sense to divert my attention from other businesses. But for someone else who maybe it's their first business, of course, £5,000 a month is fantastic. And that's not me sort of being big-headed as such, but if I have 2-3 businesses making me £20,000 a month, for example, then obviously I'm not going to say, let me stop working on those, let me work on another business where it's going to make me £5,000 a month. And that is how I will see whether a business makes sense for me, where I will look at how much it costs me, how much I'm going to sell it for, is it going to take a lot of time, and is it realistic? But number 2 wasn't even that. That was just me giving you extra value. Actually, number 2 was get on with it and just start. The amount of people that will spend time making business cards, making a fantastic website, making things look pretty, the amount of people that will say to me, oh, I've set up a company. It takes 5 minutes to set up a company. I don't care if you've set up a company. Why are you telling me you set up a company? What have you achieved setting up a company? It takes 5 minutes, guys. Come on. Like, you are capable of doing a lot more. You need to put the things in place. You need to take action. You come up with an idea, get on with it. Because until you do, nothing's going to happen. Whatever your business idea is, do it. Because the worst thing you could do is you do nothing with it. You will not learn anything. The more important thing is this. If you start a business and it fails, it's not failed. You've learned a hell of a lot of information that you can now use for your second or third or fourth business. And to be fair, if you stay in the entrepreneurship, if you stay in the business area, you will make a lot of money in your third, fourth, fifth business, possibly, if not the first. You should always try to make money in your first business. But actually, the chances of you making more money in your third, fourth, fifth business are way higher because you've learned so much. And never take that away from you starting something. And number 3, listen guys, understand something, okay? You are not going to make your own money. Your business isn't going to just make you money. Remember, it is not coming from you. It is coming from Allah. The money, it is coming from Allah. Make dua to Allah. Keep your money halal. Do not fall into haram. Don't take out loans. Don't take out anything to do with interest. Stay away from haram money. Do your transactions in a permissible way, and Allah is going to bless your business left, right, center. It happened for me. I made the intention when I started my business that it should be a means for me to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jalla, and that definitely happened. Alhamdulillah. So always keep your money halal and make sure you make that to Allah. Rizq, it comes from Allah. If you do something which is haram, leave it for the sake of Allah, because Allah will give you something better. And those are the 3 things that made me to who I am today. But if you want me to do a part 2, let me know in the comments, and I will talk more on the things that actually got me to where I am today.